I never meant to open the box, but when the basement light flickered twice, like a nervous pulse, I knew something wanted to be found. My mother's handwriting stared back from a cracked leather diary dated 1974. The first line wasn't a greeting. It was a confession. The river kept his secret, but I still hear him scream. I live in a weathered farmhouse outside Dayton, Ohio. Autumn there smells like wet iron and fallen corn stalks. Each morning I make black coffee and listen to freight trains moan across the valley, a sound older than memory. The house creaks the way my knees do. 40 years of wind have loosened every hinge. I thought I knew every noise this place could make, until that night the fuse box buzzed like an insect and the light bulb went cold. The diary's leather was brittle, edges curled like burnt paper. I set it on the kitchen table beside a chipped mug. Rain tapped the windows in a rhythmic code. My mother died 10 years ago, taking her quiet Midwestern dignity with her. Or so I believed. Her entries began with farm chores and neighborhood gossip. Then the words changed. Names were reduced to initials. Jay kept showing up. Jay came late again. He watched the barn too long. Later, Jay won't stop asking about the river. I won't let him ruin us. Pages smelled faintly of rust and river silt. One sentence chilled me. He's under the sycamore. No one will look there. Not in the dark. That night my phone lit without sound, screen bright, no call, just a blank notification. The power dipped though the sky outside was clear. Through the window, the sycamore at the edge of the field swayed against a wind I couldn't feel. I spent days combing county records. In November 1974, a 17-year-old named Jacob Price disappeared after a harvest festival. Unsolved. Last seen near the river road behind our farm. I dug deeper, microfilm newspapers, dusty courthouse ledgers, the faded smile of a boy in a Letterman jacket. Every trail curved back to my mother's tight-lipped church circle and their Wednesday fellowship, a gathering never listed in church minutes. Neighbors offered half-memories. Old Mr. Klein remembered my mother borrowing his boat lantern that autumn. My aunt swore she'd never heard of Jacob Price, but her eyes flicked left when she said it. One night I followed the diary's breadcrumbs, beneath the roots, where the earth drinks deep, to the sycamore. Moonlight pulled like mercury. Something metallic protruded from the soil. My shovel rang against the lockbox. Inside were photographs. My mother, 19, standing with Jacob. Another picture, her arm around Pastor Whitaker, the man who'd baptized me. A third, more recent, my mother holding me as a child, and behind us, Whitaker again, smiling too wide. I drove to the pastor's retirement home. He was frail but his voice held that same Sunday confidence. Jacob, he said, eyes narrowing. Your mother promised she'd destroy that diary. So you did know him. He was persistent. Wouldn't stop asking about your father. The old man's hands trembled. Accidents happen near rivers. She protected more than herself. The final pages of the diary revealed the truth. Jacob wasn't just a neighbor. He was my half-brother. My mother had fallen for a drifter, my real father, while still engaged to the man who raised me. Jacob discovered it, threatened to expose everything. Pastor Whitaker, fearing scandal, helped her keep the family whole. They chased Jacob to the river, a confrontation gone violent. I confronted the pastor again, this time at night, rain drumming the roof of his hospice wing. She begged me to confess before she died, he rasped. But why ruin 2 lives for one mistake? My voice shook. You buried a boy to save a reputation. He closed his eyes. And you carry the blood of both men. That is punishment enough. Authorities exhumed the site. DNA confirmed Jacob Price was my brother. The county filed charges too late for justice. Whitaker died before trial. The headlines lasted a week. I kept the diary. Some nights I read it aloud, the paper softening with each pass. My mother wasn't the saint I believed, but neither was she the monster in the papers. She was a frightened young woman in a hard decade, cornered by men and secrets. I walk the river path at dusk now, when the fog lifts like breath from the water. I listen for trains and for a voice I've never heard. Last night, the basement light flickered again, twice, the same nervous pulse. On the kitchen table lay a single damp page I hadn't left there. My mother's script bled through the paper, the river never forgets.